Jacky, a brawler that was overpowered in release but now one of the worst brawlers in the game. But this made me wonder, how did she fall from being overpowered? Well, to find that out, let's dive into the history of Jacky. On March 17, 2020, Jacky was released. Her attack, super gadget, and star power worked a bit differently. Her damage per attack dealt 1820 at max power level, which is between the damage of today's power 10 and 11, which didn't exist back then. So this was actually a ton of damage. Also, her super worked way differently. Instead of immediately reeling in the enemy, there's actually a slight delay in that. But to compromise that, while Jacky's using her super, she will actually gain a shield that blocks 50% damage. So she could take a huge amount of damage with her super. Her first gadget boosted her speed by 38%, which is 18% more than today. Her Contra Crush star power was surprisingly a bit worse back then, because it only returned 15% of the damage instead of 30% like today. I'll mention the second one later in the video since it didn't release right away. At the time, Jacky was one of the best brawlers in the game because of her insane damage, and her first gadget was insanely good. On March 26, 2020, Jacky's Hardy Heart Hat star power was released. This star power blocked 50% damage instead of 20% like today. This star power at the time was way better than her first one. On March 27, 2020, they gave some very heavy nerfs to Jacky. First, they nerfed her damage by 100, increased the delay between attacks by 25%, and decreased the speed from her gadget from 38% to 30%. On April 7, 2020, they nerfed her health by 300 and fixed a bug that allowed Jacky to keep the ball in Brawl Ball while using her super. After all these nerfs, she was surprisingly pretty good still, being at the top of the SD. On June 12, 2020, the 29 gem skin Construction Jacky was released. On June 16, 2020, Jacky's usage for a gadget was decreased from 3 to 2, because at the time it was way too overpowered. On July 2, 2020, they reverted the usage of her gadget back to 3, and ended up nerfing the speed of it from 30% to 20%, and also nerfed her health by 200. On August 7, 2020, Ultra Driller Jacky was released, costing 149 gems. I honestly really like the color scheme they went for the skin, and it's honestly an amazing skin for its price. At the time, Jacky was still in the S tier. On September 10, 2020, Jacky's Contra Crush star power radius was increased by 50%. This change ended up helping her stay in the S tier. On December 15, 2020, her damage ended up getting buffed by AD, and her Contra Crush reflect damage was increased from 50% to 30%. In the beginning of 2021, she went down in several game modes, causing her to go down to the B tier. On January 27, 2021, they fixed the issue that happened in a solo showdown map that ended up winning. So it's basically one of those maps where there's water all around and there's a small space in the middle you spawn in. But here's the thing, if there's multiple Jacky using Counter Crush, it caused an infinite loops of Counter Crush when one of them attacks, causing the whole match to crash. They ended up fixing it by making Counter Crush not work against other Jackys. Also, Jacky and Construction Jacky received new facial animations. On March 15, 2021, Jacky's walking effect were tweaked a bit. On April 7, 2021, Jacky's Counter Crush radius was increased by 33%. But sadly, this buff didn't really help her out that much. At the time, there was like way more better choices than Jacky, and she got countered very often. So Jacky ended up moving down to the C tier. On June 16, 2021, Jacky got a new trait where it will charge Jacky's super when someone's attacking her by 30%. This was a change that happened to most of the tanks at the time. On June 17, 2021, the supercharged trait got nerfed. It ended up going down from 30% to 20%. On June 21, 2021, Jet Ski Jacky was released as Power 7 Power League skin. This is honestly the best Jacky skin in my opinion. Its color scheme, attack animation, and other things about the skins are amazing. On August 25, 2021, they ended up changing so Jacky's supercharged trait is now based on the current health Jacky has. Since she ended up going all the way to the F tier, I have no clue if this made her worse or better, but I'm guessing it made her a bit worse. On September 28, 2021, they made huge changes for Jacky's super. First, they changed so there's no longer a delay for her super, and changed so her super doesn't prevent her from moving anymore. On September 30, 2021, they ended up giving her some nerfs and buffs. Her damage reduction from Hardy Hard Hat got increased from 10% to 15%. Her health ended up getting nerfed by 400. Also, her damage went down by 120. And finally, the amount hits to charge her super increased from 4 to 5. On October 26, 2021, Jacky's health got buffed by 400. They lowered the amount hits to charge her super from 5 to 4, changed her class from heavyweight to tank, and finally removed the shield from her super. On December 16, 2021, they released Jacky's True Silver and Gold skins, and fixed an issue where she dealt 1 damage at the very edge of her attack. On December 21, 2021, Get Express Jacky was released, costing 79 gems, featuring as a 2021 Brawl Day skin. In the beginning of 2022, she went up to the C tier. Surprisingly, the speed gear really benefited Jacky. On March 1, 2022, Jacky's Hardy Hard Hat star power reduction was increased from 50% to 20%. But the question is, did this buff even help out? Well, actually a bit, but it wasn't enough. She ended up going down to the F tier, and the only mode she was actually good in was the limited time game mode, Payload. On April 27, 2022, Jacky's second gadget rebuild was released. This gadget lets her rebuild any area that got destroyed. This is actually an idea that the Brawl Stars community had for a while, so it's actually kinda cool that Supercell ended up adding it. But this gadget wasn't good. Her first gadget at the time was a better choice. At the time, she stayed in the F tier. On July 21, 2022, the new tier list came out and she stayed in the F tier. On July 29, 2022, Jacky Cookie was released costing 149 gems featuring as BT21. On August 31, 2022, they buffed Jacky's main attack damage with 80, which helped her move up to the... On October 25, 2022, the supercharged Epic Gear was released, but this gadget didn't help out that much, since she moved back to the F tier. The main problem with Jacky is that you can't really get near anyone with her, so she's basically kinda useless. On December 12, 2022, Jacky's main attack visuals were slightly tweaked. Also, Jacky's Counter Crush star power visuals were slightly reworked. Because she didn't even receive any changes to her stats, she stayed in the F tier. And that was the final change she ever got. So let's see if she ends up doing good in the final tier list in 2023. In the final tier list, she went up to the C tier. With the recent addition of Indestructible Wall, it really helps her out since she's a really good choice in maps with a lot of walls. And that's the complete history of Jacky. If you ended up finding this useful, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.